Hello and welcome. I need to change my there we go, that's better. Hello and welcome to today's live lesson. It's 4 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock and it's time for phrasal verbs. So I'm just going to share today's lesson. Now we've done a phrasal verb lesson before, maybe once or twice actually. But today, hopefully, I get to show you guys some other types of phrasal verbs, maybe some that we haven't seen before. Arena F, welcome to today's lesson. Thank you very much for joining. Right, so I think I can find the video, and yes, I can. I hope all of you had a good morning, and for those of you at school, I hope you had good lessons as well. So, and it's now shared. So the lesson shows up, so people should be able to find it. Yeah, so we're going to look at some phrasal verbs. We're going to see how we can work them into sentences as well. There's loads and loads of phrasal verbs in English. It does touch on prepositions, of course, because you have to have a verb plus a preposition. But it's one of those aspects of the English language that can be really difficult to learn. In a lot of books, they don't always spend much time on phrasal verbs. So doing something like this is a great way to help you guys improve and develop your range of phrasal verbs. I've just realized I don't think my I hope you guys can now hear me. I don't think my audio was in properly. Let me know if you can hear me properly. You should be able to hear me actually much better than just a moment ago. We'll give people just a little bit more time before we begin. Oh gosh, I need to clean my glasses. So yeah, we're going to look at some phrasal verbs. For those of you who might be watching the video later, fast forward maybe about 5 minutes into the lesson, because usually I don't start until I usually give people maybe about 5 minutes to join the lesson as well. So I'll give people just a few more minutes and then we can begin. Yeah. By the way, if you are intermediate, if you are an intermediate student, please do not forget that next week is your level test. So next week we are going to start level tests again at school. And it's important that you guys turn up. Well, at the moment, because of what we have at school outside the main entrance, some of you might have noticed it takes a bit of time. I'm going to change. I just think the lighting's just off a little bit. This is better. You might notice that it takes a bit of time to get into school at the moment. So next week, when you do come, because of our checks at the door, please come early. So the lesson starts at 9. Your level test will be at 9. So please be here. Please get to the front door at about 9:15. It will take you about 5 minutes maybe to get in. So if you're there early, then you can be on time for your level test. So next week is intermediate. The week after will be pre-intermediate. After that, it will be elementary and beginner, and then we will go back to the upper intermediate. So it should return to its normal 4-week cycle, which is what we used to do as well. Okay, so we'll make a start, and when more people join, then great. So phrasal verbs. We'll start off with the first one, which is going to be hand over. Now, hand over Handover is it's on the thumbnail of the YouTube lesson today. And handover is something that you would use to give something that you have to someone else, maybe if it belongs to someone else as well. Sandra says, hi, Richard. Hi, Sandra. Welcome to today's lesson. Thank you very much for joining. I hope you're doing well. So handover. So, for instance, you can say, can you hand over the money, for example? Now, if you are, that should be a question. Can you hand over the money? Well, that sounds maybe a little bit criminal, to be honest with you. Let's go with something else. Can you hand over the, yeah, actually, one thing you can do, can you hand it over? Now, that's another question as well. If you don't usually split the verb from the preposition, but you can do with a pronoun. It's with a pronoun like it, for example. You can order someone as well, hand it over. Maybe it's something they are not supposed to have. It's quite strong. So I would say with hand it over, this is usually used in almost like an order, maybe something the person has that they shouldn't have in their possession. Now, the other type of hand is hand in. So you can hand in something. Now, hand in something means to give. So, for instance, can you hand in your homework tomorrow? In the past, you would say, I handed it in yesterday. This is slightly different. This is where you have something and you're going to give it to someone else, such as your homework. Can you hand it in? That's one way of looking at it with homework. The other is if you find something and you want to give it back to the person, but you don't know who the person is. So you take it to the police station. So you can say, I handed it in yesterday. I handed it in yesterday at the police station, for example. So that's what we have between hand it in, hand it over. Very similar. Hand it in is usually to do with either homework or something you find that doesn't belong to you. Hand in. So this is for homework. Or you find something that isn't yours. Hand it over. This is when you have something that's probably not yours. You have something that you must give to someone. This is stronger. This is like an obligation. Okay, so hand it over. Okay, so we've just had a little look at hands there. Let's look at a few more before I pass things over to you. And here we can now look at another hand, which is hand out. So can you hand out the paper, for example? Now, hand out simply means to give out, or to give out something. So you can hand out paper, you can hand out leaflets, you can hand out flyers, you can hand out lots of things. In Partreville, you will see some people handing out little flyers, asking you to come into the club that they represent. So that is a handout. Another type of handout is a kind of benefit, like a social benefit. benefit. Social benefit is money from the government. So government. So, for example, the government is giving handouts, which is basically benefits. If you're not too sure what benefits are, this might be money from the government to help with health, education, housing, you name it. That is a benefit. You can sometimes also have something called food stamps, which is basically free food. You can go to places, you can give a food stamp, and people can give you food for free. And that is a handout. So you've got hand in, hand over, and hand out. There's a few things. There's actually a few with hand. And then let's look at the last one, okay, which is hand back, okay. And this simply means to return or to give back. Okay, so you can say, can you hand it back? Uh, hand hand the book back. Hand the let's say hand the whatever the X is back. Basically, this one you can kind of split from its. It's normal to split the verb from the preposition. That's not necessarily uncommon, but it's to hand back. So hand it back. Usually we know what we're talking about. So hand it back. So we've got some different hand backs here. Hand over, hand in, hand out, hand back. So let's now look at this. I'm going to write some sentences and you need to decide which hand do you need to go with. Do you need to go with hand over? Do you need to hand back? Which one do you think? So the first one. So this is the first one. So this one has something to do with school, and that should give you a clue. Well done, Sandra. Very quick. Hand in was definitely the correct one for the first one. You then got hand it something. You shouldn't take drugs. This is something whereby maybe you're kind of almost, there's an obligation involved, you know. Let's look at the next one as well. We've got two more here. We've got hand it. You shouldn't take drugs. The one after that, can you hand something, these marketing leaflets? This is very similar to the flyers. And then finally, Cassandra says, for the next one is hand out. Can you hand out these marketing leaflets? Yes, well done. And Arena F, you agree. Okay. Let's also look at the last one. The last one should be, I think the context of the last one should make it relatively easy to work out, which then tells you what the second one should be. Hand it, you shouldn't take drugs. So let's see what you say. Yeah. Yes, well done, Sandra. Very quick. Hand back. So you've got hand in, hand out, hand back. So you're just missing one, and that is with the drugs one. So with the drugs one, what do you think is the correct answer for that one? So let me know what your answer is for number 2. You've used in, you've used out, you've now used the back correctly, and there is one that you haven't used yet, and that's going to be the answer for the one with drugs. But very well done. Very quick there, by the way. Very quick with the last one. So well done. So yeah, you've got handed in tomorrow after class. You've got handed you shouldn't take drugs. And then you've got, can you hand out these marketing leaflets, which you were correct with, and hand it I gave it to you last week and I would like it back, and which is hand back. So there's just last one, and the second one over here, I'll give you 30 more seconds and then I'll let you know what the actual answer is. Hand it over. Well done. I didn't even need to type it in. Well done. Yes, hand it over. So well done, guys. Excellent work. So let's move on. Let's move on to the next round of verbs. And the first thing I'm going to look at is, I think this one could be quite a good one. Let's go with, gosh, there's so many to choose from, to be honest. But it's easy to get a little bit sort of, lots of ones to go for. But let's go for, let's go for this one. I think this is a good starting point anyway. So let's go for back down. You need to back down. So what does back down mean? Stop being aggressive. Aggressive. What's happened here? Oh, there we go. That's what it is. Yeah, stop being aggressive. Back down. Back down. Back down. You know, like stop. So the person is being a bit aggressive, and you're telling the person back down. This is usually a command. This is strong language. You're telling the person to stop. So back down. You need to back down. Stop it. So that's the first one from the new lot. Sticking with back, you've then got back off. So you can, again, this is a strong one. You can say back off with an exclamation mark. Now, this is to do with maybe conversation. And in conversation, maybe someone is really, really annoying you. Let's say they are pushing your buttons. And when someone is pushing your buttons, it means they are really annoying you. They are upsetting you. They are making you angry. Evelina, good afternoon. Welcome to today's live lesson. Thank you for joining us. We are looking at phrasal verbs. So we've got back off, and back off simply means stop. Stop pushing. Stop pushing me. Back off. So that means stop. The person is talking with you or talking to you, and they are in your face. They're really pushing your buttons. They're upsetting you. They're making you angry. You're getting annoyed, and you want them to stop. So you can say, back off. It's strong. It's the sort of thing you might say on a, let's say, if you are out and you meet, you start talking to some stranger, someone you don't know, and then they keep on sort of coming to you and they begin to annoy you. Maybe maybe you feel even a little bit unsafe with them being near you. So if you feel unsafe next to them, you can tell them, back off, please, meaning stop it. So back off, really good one to know, definitely one you need to know. And then finally, you need to know this one. You might have heard this before from films, but you've got backup. Now, backup has quite a few meanings. First of all, you need, it's talking about support. So police might say, okay, so a policeman might say, for instance, I need backup. Okay, and if you need backup, it means you need support. You need more policemen. You might say, I need backup. Now, again, this means support. Maybe it might mean I need my friend next to me when we go to this place. So, for example, you're on a night out, you're going to a bar, you're worried about who you might meet or who you might see. You don't feel completely confident, you don't feel completely safe, and then you need to say, I need backup, I need my friend. And finally, you need the last type of backup, which is to, for instance, we need to back up our files. What does this mean? In this case, we need to save our files, our documents. So backup has a lot of quite a few meanings. So I'm now going to write some sentences like last time. I'm going to miss out the preposition, and you guys need to complete by putting in the correct preposition. So let's go for the first one over here. Let's go with so that's the first one. The second one, the third one. Yes, Sandra, well done. That is the answer. And it's the answer to both the first and the second. So well done, really quick there. So the next one back, I don't want to get a drink with you. And then finally, we've got well done, Sandra. Excellent. Back off is for the next one. And lastly, we've got the last one. What do you think about this one? What type of phrasal verb do we need over here? So you got the first one correct, back up. back off, and then back down. Excellent. Well done. Excellent work. If anyone else would like to come in, great. Please go for it. Now, let's whilst we're away, we're just going to look at some other ones that we can look at. I'm trying to go for ones whereby you've got the same word at the beginning, and the reason being is that it helps, because then it's just the preposition which we need to think about. Actually, let's go with yeah, we'll go with this one. Okay, so now we're going to go with cut. So the main verb is now going to be cut, and the next ones we're just going to look at the different prepositions that we can go with cut. If you know any prepositions that go with cut, let me know. So before we start, let me know, what do you know? What do you guys already know with the verb cut? Do you know any prepositions? Cut off. Sandra, thank you very much. Well done. Do you know any others? I'm glad that you know cut off. So yeah, cut off. Now, maybe tell you what, in what sense though, cut off? Because cut off has two different meanings, which we can look at. You've got the physical cut off in terms of you've got two different types of cut off actually. Arena, cut out. Yeah, excellent. Well done. Okay, you've got cut out. Excellent. Let me know. Can you put it into a sentence? So, Sandra, can you put cut off into a sentence? And Arena F, can you put cut out into a sentence? Just so I can see how you are using it. And what meanings you know. So I can see here that you know of the phrasal verb, but can you put it into a sentence that tells me that you know what this means and how do you use it? And then I'll introduce you to another one, because there are a few phrasal verbs we can make with the verb cut, to cut something. Okay. So actually, let's see. Actually, I'm going to do it this way. So we've got cut off, and we've got cut out. So which ones can we use with which? Okay, like slice, slice. You mean slice? You don't need the P. Slice. Yeah, it's like slice off. It's to cut off something. So actually, I'm going to give you some examples, and I would like you to tell me which one goes with which preposition. Like block something, cut off. Cut out, yeah, cut out would actually be, yeah, cut out would to be block something. So let's see how you guys do. Let's see what you go with. So Rena says, one of the plane's engines cut out. Well done. So they had to land with only one. Very good. Excellent. That's really good. So let's see. You need to use the correct preposition, please. Okay, guys, so we're looking at some different versions of that. So let's see what you guys go with. You got A, B, C, D. And you guys need to now decide between off and out. There's two different types of ways that we can use it. I think you guys, looking at some of the sentences you've already made, I think you guys will be able to do well with this one. Let's see what your answers are, and then we will look at another one. We will then look at another one, actually. Okay, so let's see what you guys go with. You've got off and you've got out. You've got off and got out. So A, out. I need to cut out the side. Let's see if Arena agrees. I suppose it depends how we interpret this. I'm going to, okay, so you both have gone for out, cut out. I need to cut out the side. Generally speaking, it can make sense. I was going to go with off. It would be like cutting off the side. But you're not technically wrong by using out, because sometimes you might need to cut out something. But I would strongly suggest go with off for A. Imagine like you've got some meat and you want to cut off the side. I probably need to give you guys more of a context, so don't worry about that one. B, you're saying is off. He cut me off. We were just talking. Yep, that's definitely correct. That makes sense. Okay, so we've got B. What about C? Cut it. Avina thinks B is off as well. Good, well done. So what about C? Cut it. Stop that now. What do you guys think? You might have heard this before in films or TV programs. Sandra thinks off, cut it off, stop that now. Okay. Let's see what the others say. Granted, there is limited context, certainly, so we need to take that into consideration. But we'll see. Cut off, cut off, cut off. Okay, the answer for C is out. Cut it out. So if you say cut it out, it means stop. And it's something you would say you could use in different situations. Cut it out. So stop smoking, cut it out. Stop drinking, cut it out. Stop talking to me like that, cut it out. Stop coming, cut it out. So it's behavior, actions, words that you want someone to stop. So C is out. Okay, what about D? We were so close, and then she just cut me, and we haven't spoken in ages. This is to do with friends. Yes, well done. Out, out, out. Good, well done. So you got the last one correct. Okay, let's look at the last one. Okay, we've got cut up, and we've got cut up in two different ways. So you can say cut up the onions, for example. That's one. Very well, it explains itself. You need to cut up onions. Or you can say, I was really cut up when the relationship ended. If you say you were cut up by something, in this case, cut up means like heart, maybe heartbroken, very sad. Yeah, you're heartbroken, very sad. You can be cut up about something, and that means to be sad. So you've got those two meanings of cut up. So you've got cut out, cut off, and cut up. Okay, right, well done. Okay, we're doing pretty well. Can you guys tell me, can you give me an example with cut up? Can you think of a time when Yeah, see if you can create a sentence with cut up. Preferably the second one with being disappointed. So were you cut up when, I mean, you can be cut up watching a film. So if you like certain films, if you like, what is a good example? The Lion King, for example, you could have watched The Lion King. You saw the death of Simba's father, Mufasa, and when Mufasa dies, you could feel really sad. And if you feel really sad, then you felt cut up. You were cut up. So that is an example. Let me know of a film that you watched that left you feeling cut up. So you can say, I felt cut up, I was cut up. Let's see what you can think of. So yeah, I think the death of Mufasa in The Lion King left me feeling cut up, that's for sure. Any other films I can think of that left me feeling cut up? La Vita Bella. I haven't seen this film in years. I remember watching it when I was young with subtitles. And La Vita Bella is a wonderful but really sad story. I can't remember the Italian actor. He's really, really famous. He's been in so many movies. And he acts as someone in the Second World War. And he ends up in a concentration camp with the Germans, with his son, and he wants to try and make things a bit better for his son. So he makes lots of things into, tries to make things look like a game for his son. And in the end, I mean, even when I think about it, I feel cut up thinking about the story. Robert Benigni, yeah. If you haven't seen La Vita Bella, it's a fantastic film, but you will be left feeling cut up because the end is a sad ending. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but if you haven't seen it, La Vita Bella, it's certainly an emotional film that leaves you feeling cut up. So let me know in the live chat section if you can think of anything that's left you cut up. A song can cut you up as well. Like for instance, if you feel that you can relate to like an Adele song, then you might feel cut up. So Sandra says, my husband and I are getting a divorce and I'm a bit cut up about it. It isn't true. Okay, Sandra, first of all, I'm very happy to hear that it's not true. And second of all, yes, that would be a very good example of someone being cut up. Excellent. Good stuff. Well done. Yeah. Well done, guys. Okay, so we're coming to the end of the lesson, but I just want to leave you guys with one more, and it's to do with doze. Now, doze means to snooze or sleep. So if you doze, you sleep. For instance, she is dozing, meaning she is sleeping. Now, we wouldn't use this when it's nighttime. You don't really doze nighttime. Nighttime is sleep. Doze is for during the day, when you're maybe at the desk, you're working, and you fall asleep. That is the doze. So doze is this daytime sleep. It's not like a siesta, because you're not deliberately going to sleep. Your mind is just tired, your eyes are tired, and you just need to close your eyes. So you end up dozing. And you can then say doze off, which means to fall asleep. Power nap, it can end up being like a power nap, but it's not an intentional power nap. It's accidental. So you just doze off, sort of thing. You can doze off in the car. You can doze off while traveling. So you can end up saying, sorry, I just dozed off. It's a regular verb. You can say, don't doze off. Dozing off. So yeah, that's a good one. So if you fall asleep just a little bit during the day, not intentional, maybe in class, then you doze off. And that's it. So doze off is a really good one. Let me leave you with one more, and then you guys can decide which one you need to use. Okay. And that last one I'm going to leave you with is end up. So you can say, I ended up in Paris. Without realizing, that should be one word. Without realizing, I ended up on the other side of town. So what does ended up mean, or end up? Well, if you end up is where, what's the best way to describe it? Yeah, it's the end result of something. So it's the end result of something planned or unplanned. You can even say we ended up buying a bigger house, for example. So that's the end result. So we're now down to these last two. I'm going to write two sentences. You need to decide which one makes more sense. So this is option one. Okay. And number two. So what do you guys think? Number one, number two, and that will bring us to the end of today's lesson. So you've got she's going to something something if you continue to talk like that, as well as we walk for hours dozing. Okay, what about the preposition, Sandra? Don't forget, what is the preposition of dozing? You are correct. She's going to doze. Oh, no, not dozing. Sorry, she's going to doze because you've already got going. So instead of she's going to dozing, you would have she's going to doze. So you can just leave it in its normal infinitive form. She's going to doze. What about the preposition? And then let me know about the second one. She's going to doze. Sandra, well done for the second one. Yep, that's going to be ended up. And well done, you put in the regular verb ending there. So yeah, the first one's doze. The second one is ended up. So guys, thank you so much for today to Sandra and Arena, especially. Arena F, thank you very much for participating in the live chat. I'll be back tomorrow at 4 o'clock. I hope you're all well. Make sure you like the video. Well done, Sandra. Yep, doze off. Make sure you like the video, subscribe if you're new, share with other people. And if you want to find out more about lessons, make sure you click on the link to our website below. I'll be back tomorrow, and tomorrow I'm going to be talking about L1 interference, how your the confusion between your first language and English, and how we can try and tackle it. Okay, thank you, Evelina. Thank you, Sandra. Have a good afternoon, and thank you, Arena F. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.